When you start a new life, when you make a decision that you want to get sober, you've had alcohol abuse problems, you want to get off drugs. It's a shock to the system. Homemade ginger tulsi lemon tea. Amazon. So we start this procedure to get sober. We start this procedure to get clean. And it's a shock to the system. Not just emotionally and mentally, but physically as well. There are quite a few options out there to take to start that journey. For me, I went to counseling twice a week for 2 years, and I was in the 12-step program. I started drinking at an early age, 11, 12, and by the time I was 15, I was a blackout drinker. And that lifestyle went on until I was about 29. So when I practiced abstinence, staying away from the drink, life became pretty real, and I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know the difference between up and down, left and right, in and out, backwards, reverse, forward. I was a mess. And so I started counseling. And then the 12-step program. And again, I want to emphasize there are many paths to getting sober and clean. Many. And people have used them. I have excuse me, I have a subscriber, Mary, and she got straightened out and never went to a 12-step program. And we're going to get into this a little bit more deeply, the paths that people choose. So that's how I started. Abstinence, counseling, and the 12-step program. In the 12-step program, I mentioned this before, I was introduced to spirituality. That's what that program's about. And as I started to recover from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body, I noticed names that were mentioned in that AA big book. Carl Jung, William James. At one point along the steps along that way, they talk about being rocketed into the fourth dimension. I was curious. I wanted to know what the fourth dimension was all about. And so I discovered what is mentioned in those books. A spiritual awakening, a profound personality change. And this is a continuing process to keep that personality change, to rise above the problems and situations of the day. It's continuing. Excuse me. And years ago, I developed a routine, a morning routine. And that's what I call life support. I found I needed, well, I'll put it this way. I didn't need a support group. I needed life support. And the life support I found was and is practicing spiritual principles, spiritual philosophies, religious principles, religious philosophies, practicing them every day of my life. I am on life support. It's no joke. So I said I would talk about people choose various paths and ways to get off the booze, to get off the drugs, okay? I would never tell anyone there's only one way to get off booze and drugs, and then I would never tell anyone there's only one way to stay clean and sober. When I say there's not just one way to stay clean and sober, I'm talking about the path you found, the path you chose, and this is the path you use every day. I learned in the 12-step program, it's in the big book, about, and I'll paraphrase it, don't put down religions. It says in there, religion has helped millions of people. And again, I'm paraphrasing, but somewhere in there it says, we find out what we were accusing those people of, we were guilty of it ourselves. So I'm on life support. It's mostly practicing Buddhist philosophies. But I've studied the Bible. I've studied the New Testament. For years, I've studied the New Testament, not just the English translations, but the translations Arabic and Hebrew into English. I've studied other religions. I've studied various spiritual paths and ways from the East. I would hope whatever path you're following, whatever way, spiritual, religious, the Stoics, whatever way it is, that your life support system that works, you wouldn't condemn other people for following, practicing something else. A lot of wars, and not just wars, family squabbles, neighborhood squabbles, starts over the, well, let me use a term that you're familiar with, the better than thou attitude. So, are you on life support the way I described? Let's finish this video by talking a little bit about condemning other paths and ways. You know, I read a book a long time ago called The Many Names of God, and it covered every name of God in history. Hundreds. So, popular today is God. Popular today is the divine. Popular today is creator of the universe. And popular today is the higher power. It does not matter to me which path you choose. To improve your quality of life, be of some kind of service, to be of some kind of service to others. And whichever one it is, these paths and ways and religions include daily devotion. A lot of problems start when we try to misrepresent the path, the way, the religion we belong to. We misrepresent it, or we try to convert other people to it. A lot of the subscribers to this channel have come out of addictions, isn't it? And they're living happy, joyous, and free based on daily practices. I go through, see who subscribed to your channel. I go through that every now and then and look at you. Read the title of your channel, your name. I could tell the paths that you're following are different from the others. And if someone, well, I like to say, is on life support, their life is supported by God, the divine creator of the universe, a higher power, why would you even mess with them? Condemn them. Put them down. Say it's not the right way. My way's right. Your way is wrong. Hello? Let me ask you this question. If you went to a hospital to visit someone you know that's in intensive care, my relationship with the divine is intensive, and the divine cares for me. So, would you walk into a room in the hospital where somebody's on life support and tell the nurse or the doctor, you're doing that the wrong way? Maybe if you have a degree and there is something absolutely egregious, yeah, but we're not talking about that. But would you do that? If somebody was on life support in a hospital, would you go into their room and tell the doctor and nurse, you're doing that the wrong way? I don't approve of it. People have enough problems, roadblocks, and frustrations in our times every day. Let them choose the path that they're drawn to. And if their quality of life is improved and they're of some type of service, they're not badgering you, they have life support, they're getting care and their care is intensive, don't try to pull the plug.